Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. Look who I have.
What a week to be on Juicy Scoop.
The original Chris Franjola.
Yes.
I don't even know the Juicy Scoopers deserve it. Last week they had Fortune. Then we have Caitlyn Jenner on Tuesday. And now Thursday I have you.
That's unbelievable. I mean, what? You just keep giving and giving to the people.
And I did extra Patreons. I mean, I don't even know. Except that people do tell me they appreciate it.
Good.
That's why I keep going.
As they should.
And look, Chris, I even got this going for us.
Yeah.
It's you and me driving over here. I'm just going to put this baby right in
cute.
front.
That is when I used to be able to go on the road and find things in thrift stores around the country. Found a doll of myself.
And you found the Fortune doll. That was just a huge hit.
Yeah. The Fortune doll was a great find.
Speaking of Fortune, you guys did your event.
We did an event. Yeah, we did a Zoom or whatever.
Zoom show.
It was a show. It wasn't. It was more than a Zoom show. But then we had a lot of. Yeah, it was a show.
Well, no, you guys did stand up, and then you had us Zoom in, and she asked to come. I wanted her to come on the show. I wanted to promote it before the show.
Right.
And then she said, "Can you come and be on it?"
I was actually, when you popped up on the Zoom, I was shocked. I didn't think you were Zooming in. So.
Well, I didn't really want to just because I already had a couple glasses of rosé with my sister. But originally when she asked me, I thought we had a gender reveal party to go to.
Right.
But then when I found out the gender reveal party was Sunday, I just Christian-wise could not consciously see 650 go by and not click on the Zoom.
Yeah.
Because that is just not being a good friend. It's not fair to my Juicy Scoopers that bought tickets.
Right.
So I did have a bikini on. I thought that'd give some people a thrill.
It was.
The mistake was that I did it on my phone and I didn't go sideways. So I guess I was little compared to everybody else.
You actually spoke. You had the best Wi-Fi and we were able to hear you.
Oh my God! Wait till Peter hears that.
Yeah. So so that worked well. The mistake was a few other people I invited, I think.
Maybe too many. I think you guys.
It was kind of a last-minute decision because the guy who was producing it was really hyping up a Chelsea Lately reunion.
Oh, okay.
And both Fortune and I were like, have we asked anybody to be on this? And outside of you and I think Kelowna, we hadn't. So I said, we better scramble and get people.
Well, I heard that people loved the stand-up portion.
Yeah.
Could have lived without the reunion part, said it went on a little too long. That was kind of the thing. And I agree. That's why I was trying to wrap it up when I was on.
I will give you that 100%. Also, what we failed to realize, and you probably more so than anyone since Chelsea Lately, have developed a different following than just Chelsea Lately people.
Right, yeah.
So what had happened was, we were seeing people's comments as it was we were on.
Oh, okay.
So we had a couple of thousand people watching it. And a lot of people had no idea who any of those people were. They were like, who are they? What's Chelsea Lately? So oh yeah, I guess some people just follow us for other reasons and don't know anything about.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, almost half.
Yes.
Didn't know who. You, of course, and Kelowna maybe and Kirkman. But the rest, and Josh. But the rest of the people, they were like, I don't know who they are.
But it made it fun. It made me want to get together again. So we'll have to just do a night out, whatever, with these people.
But, and then the other thing, that's it, and then we'll be done with it.
Yes, go.
You, me, Josh, Kirkman, Kelowna, we've stayed in performing mode, since the show.
Yes.
We've all done stand-up and things like this. Some of the guys have just gotten out of the performing game, and it showed.
They're all writers.
On the Zoom.
They're writers, producers.
Yeah, so they didn't realize people were watching.
Yes. I knew that people had paid money and were watching. So I was trying to move it along, get a joke. And then so that the minute you said, okay, we're going back, I was like, bye. And they're like, oh, Heather's waving first. I'm like, yeah, because get back to the real comedy. These people are sitting at home. I personally, we watched the Drew Barrymore show the other day.
Yeah.
I made Drake watch some of it.
Tom Green on or something?
Tom Green was on, and they had the Zoom audience that then they talked to after. You know what? Look, I do an impression of her. I've talked about it. I do have to say, it does suck to launch a talk show during this time. It really does suck not to have real people in the audience because all the little morning coffee chuckles would be funnier with 200 people in the audience.
Of course.
It is the deadest thing.
Yeah.
And then you have those people clapping. This is how my son did it. He goes like this. He goes, let me be a Zoom audience clapping on America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Because it's like
It's bad Wi-Fi, and there's a delay.
Yes, and it's like the intention is there. It just sucks, you know?
It's one of those things that I don't think we need the TVs in the background. Like we understand people are watching. We got it. Like I don't need to see people in their basement, clapping along.
And then at the end of the show of Drew's, and some lucky Zoomer gets to ask a question. And it's this mom, and her kid's like 5, and he's just laying there like bored out of his mind on his lap. And she's like, hello, what can I help you with? And the woman's like, oh, Drew, hi. I was hoping you could help us with the thermometer. What? Please tell me. What can I help with? Well, we're in Idaho, and it's fall here, and it's getting colder. And my husband turned up the heat, and I don't like that. I want to snuggle. Any suggestions?
Oh, God.
Yes. I'm much into the layering game. So do extra blankets, do double PJs, keep the temperature low, but you guys have an opportunity to just get all blankety and snuggly. Thank you, Drew. That was the advice question.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
This shit's on TV, right?
This is on national. Hundreds of people work on this show.
Yeah.
Look, am I going to be fucking invited on? No, I'm not. I don't
Right.
care. I had to talk about it. I mean, we were just like, honestly, I feel bad. I feel bad for the people working on it. I feel bad for it having to come out during the pandemic. I don't know. And every single Drew's News is an ad.
Oh, is that she does a thing called Drew's News?
Yeah, and so it's all good news, but it's like my favorite lotion or my favorite bread pudding, and it's like my favorite things, but it's like seems to be every day.
Yeah.
And I understand you got to incorporate that too. It's just
Is this
it's like the opposite of juicy. It is just the most non-juicy stuff, and she's really sweet, and she really kind of dresses like Jen Kirkman.
Oh,
She's got that whole 70s thing, the culottes, the outfits are adorable. The look of the set's adorable. They are doing like great things where the person is on Zoom, but they make it look like they're sitting in the chair. I mean, they're doing everything they can do.
Yeah.
But
it's
just not juicy.
It's afternoon TV.
But there was a time when we had Donahue and Oprah afternoon TV that was freaking interesting and juicy.
I know. I feel the same way about late night television.
Like even if you don't want to be political, you can still be interesting.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's like
talk about the things you talk about on here.
I mean, whatever, but I don't have
talking about snuggling up with socks, wool socks.
This came out because this is Caitlyn and Sophia, who now you guys know they are not a couple because you heard her on my show, Sophia, and then I just had Caitlyn on. Sophia is her manager, but Sophia also has a company on her own, and she walked out. Lumisol, I love it.
Right.
Skin sunscreen. She walked out of Craig's, which there's always paparazzi there.
Always
That's why.
paparazzi
That's the
up
only
front.
reason you go. And they had this really good truffle chicken. Whatever. It's a pretty good time. And they said, what's the story of you going to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? And so let me just say, she's a very smart woman. I don't know that, I like Sophia, and I think she wants to be on it. Who doesn't want to be on it, loves to be on it? I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know how really close this is to happening. They're talking about Heather Locklear. They're talking about all these other people. But I love that she got that interview, and I would like to go to Craig's and say that they're talking to me about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Why don't you go to Craig's? Do you ever go?
I haven't gone during the pandemic, but I'm thinking I might make a plan.
They built like an outdoor patio in the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks real nice. And I'll say this.
When did you go?
Well, I don't. But two of my friends are been waiters there very good friends have been waiters there for years.
I do love that truffle chicken. Yeah.
And also, talk about juicy scoop. You should have one of these guys on one time because they have the scoop on.
Really?
You could go into Craig's one day and there'll be. And this is no kidding. Like Bill Clinton could be sitting there next to Mariah Carey, next to another table could be Al Pacino. Like it's that big an A-list place. So they have a lot of stories about a lot of people.
Do you feel like the A-list people are still coming there though? Because I feel like it became sort of Bravo D-lister which is why I like to go there because I feel like
Yeah.
at home. And then
Right.
on occasion, a paparazzi might recognize me and might say something for me for TMZ, so I feel like it's worth it.
Yeah.
But I also walk out of there acting like, in case nobody does want to talk to me, that I'm not like, like I'm busy. You know,
Right.
like I'm like, bye, girls.
Yeah.
You know, that I'm like
Well,
waiting for my car, looking at my phone. I'm like, oh, I guess it's not happening
yeah.
today.
Because
Yeah.
they when you come out, and they're old, you see them there, and they
Yes.
put the cameras down. They face them towards the
Oh
ground.
my God, that's when
it's
they
just
like have a cigarette break.
Yeah, they're like,
That-
oh, that's a nobody. You're like, oh, well, I used to be on Chelsea. I just did a Zoom show for 1,000 people.
But Sophia came out looking cute and gave a great interview. Okay, so let's talk about football great Joe Montana.
Yes.
He, the way I understand this, and you tell me what you think.
Yeah. You tell me your half.
I
and
think
I'll
they
tell you
were
what
renting a beautiful Malibu home right on the beach.
Right.
Probably had a big deck out. Probably had sliding glass doors open.
Right.
And one way I understand it is someone in their family was holding the baby, and this woman walked up off the beach and was trying to snatch the baby out of this other woman's hand, in which then someone pushed her away. She went running off. They went outside, and the sheriff's department from Lost Hills just happened to be doing something on the street. So they waved them down, and then they arrested the woman.
Yeah. That's kind of what I heard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know if the place was on the beach and someone walked up from the beach.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong too.
Yeah, I think it was the house was inland on Malibu.
Oh, okay.
And someone was inside the home. That's what I had heard. Because if your home is on the beach in Malibu, you're on Pacific Coast Highway, and
Well, I almost think being on the beach. I thought on the beach it made more sense that like a
because
kind
you
of
can walk right
like
up
a
to-
vagabond weird person, because the beaches, they changed the laws a while back that I don't care if you live in a $50 million house. The beach is the beach. Anyone can go to that beach
Right.
and plant their blanket right in front of your house.
I'm there every weekend, and
you're allowed to do that,
I
right?
can attest to the fact
that you can do that.
Yeah.
So I thought some like weird person, probably mentally ill. And, you know, when I heard this, I was like, I've seen babies that I've wanted to grab.
Right. Now, this is his granddaughter, not people. A lot of people are like, wow, he's a little old to have a baby.
No,
I'm like,
it's his grandchild. And like, so was it like a mentally ill woman that just like saw like a fat baby and just was like, I just want to go up and like just hold that baby. But obviously they're mentally ill that they walked up there. Or was this like a real kidnapping plot?
Well, I just made this own theory. I
Yeah.
thought it was a stalker situation. I thought it was somebody who had known where Joe Montana was living and was a stalker and went into his home. You know, like that Letterman thing years ago. That's what I was under the impression. It was a stalker
Yeah.
situation.
Well, by the time you listen to it, we might know more.
Yeah.
But just so weird. And then the next day he just went to Malibu.
He went to Nobu. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
Malibu, he went to Nobu.
he
Went to Nobu. It just says, Joe Montana hits up Nobu after subduing alleged kidnapper. Okay. Well, you know what? Reservations are very tough to get at
Yeah,
Nobu. And
yeah.
if you already had those Nobu reservations, you might want to keep them,
Right.
you know? And it's hard to say no to these things.
I was at
To
Nobu.
a yummy dinner.
I was
Yeah.
at Nobu a couple weeks ago, and it's a sad situation because there's there's a portion that's on the beach,
Yes.
and it's like an outdoor patio, and then of course, like everything else, they built another outdoor patio in the parking lot,
Right.
and that's where they throw like me. They're like, yeah, we'll get you table.
So you're not on the real on the water.
No. I'm in what was normally just a parking lot. Now they threw a couple of hedges up, and it's it's a restaurant. But they got like 10 tables out there, and it's the daytime. We're having lunch, and they have a few umbrellas, but not enough to cover.
You're sweating.
Oh my God, it was brutal. And what they were doing was, if you'd been there for like an hour, you had like an umbrella time, like. And after an hour, they were like, okay, you're done with your umbrella. And they would move it over to another table. And there you would be exposed to
Okay.
the elements.
Did they tell you when you got there that you only had the umbrella for an hour?
They didn't make it known, but
Okay.
they were moving it. They kept moving it away from people to give it to other people who showed up. It was, and I was like, this is Nobu. You can't get 4 more umbrellas. Like, come on, what are we doing here?
Well, when we went to Joffrey's
Okay.
in Malibu after our interview with Caitlyn. I treated, Mackenzie and Kelly to a cute Juicy Scoop lunch. Okay?
That's a nice place for
cute lunch, right? And yeah, it's very nice. It's been around a long time. It's not as chic. It's a little dated. However, the food was very good. And when we got there, because we were able to call and get reservations that day, but it was a Monday. What did they say? They're like, you have the table for an hour and a half. They tell you right when you get there, you have it for an hour and a half. Don't try to stay and milk it out for 3 because you're in fucking Malibu. I think that's smart.
No, I agree.
I think you should say that. But also if you're gonna snatch an umbrella from someone, I think you have to say that too. Like, hey, you have the table for an hour and a half, but just know you only have the umbrella for an hour.
Well, I got to tell you,
so either bring your Lumisol or, eat up that, that Chilean sea bass a little quicker. That black cock.
They thought moving the umbrella was going to get me out of there. I stayed an hour more just to piss them off in the blaring hot sun.
Okay. Well, I don't think I want to go to Nobu unless I can get on the water.
100%. You look like if
I'm going to spend $200 for lunch.
Yeah.
Or dinner, I gotta be getting the view.
Because everyone you see the people walking in, and they're like, "Oh, it's the parking lot losers," and that one doesn't even have an umbrella, and there I am sitting by myself.
Oh my god!
The sushi, it's fucking hot out there, and the sushi cooks.
They definitely didn't tune into that Chelsea Lately Zoom reunion. None of those people gave a shit.
I wish they would have known. How dare they?
Well, whatever happened. I hope it's an insane person and not a plot because, I'm not even going to step into it.
Go ahead. No. Bring it on.
People don't want to hear.
They were going to take that baby right to Oprah's house and cook it and eat it.
Exactly. People don't want to hear.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Right.
That babies are being stolen right and left.
Yeah. And
made into little rock Cornish game heads. Okay. Don't. Little strings tied. No. Yeah. But I'm telling you, so I think we'll know. We'll know soon enough, Okay.
Yeah. If not, it's probably more out there right now. And there's probably more details.
Yes. But we taped this a few days ago. So whatever, you guys. Sharon Stone, beautiful as always. She was on Watch What Happens Live. She's on the show called Ratchet, which I've not seen, but people are talking about it.
About Nurse Ratchet from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's before
like a prequel.
Yeah, it's a prequel. It's before Jack Nicholson's character got to the hospital.
That's what it's about. Okay, so people probably don't even know that movie.
Yeah, well, if you don't, you should. It's an amazing movie.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's with Jack Nicholson when he was very young. He goes to a psych ward, but he really wasn't crazy, right? He got thrown in there to get out of a worse situation.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And the Nurse Ratchet is horrible, right?
Yes.
Oh, so this is like how
a prequel to that movie.
Oh, that's juicy.
Yeah, juicy. It's supposed to be great.
And that's on is that
Netflix.
On Netflix?
Yeah.
So, okay, she's in it, and Cynthia Nixon, who we all know, Miranda from Sex and the City, came on, and someone asked, "What about her replacing Kim Cattrall?"
Great idea.
Well, they all said, maybe it's a great idea, but no, if we do it, it's going to be a woman of color. We wouldn't replace her with another white blonde woman. And then people chimed in on Juicy Scoop Obsessed about this topic. And we're just like, no, we're just done. We're just done.
Done with Sex and the City.
Yes,
I totally agree. Like, when are we all, we did it. It was a great show. And
we wrote several scripts.
We already wrote part 3 if they need it.
So many times we wrote part 3.
Yeah.
We wrote it with Kim Cattrall. We wrote it without her. And now
all our alliterations or whatever of the script, I think Big dies in the beginning. I think all of us
we all agreed Big dies. Yeah. She's single again. All right, I just had a vision. If we're going to have Sharon Stone's character and Kim Cattrall is gone, she has to be, it would be kind of great, is we never knew about Carrie's childhood. We knew that Miranda had a mom who died. We knew that Charlotte had rich parents. Carrie we never saw Carrie's mother. We never saw her father. But I do remember in one episode, she said she didn't have a dad or she grew up with a single mom or something. This could be like an older half sister, like a Meghan Markle, Samantha thing.
Okay.
older half sister is Sharon Stone. She comes into the picture.
She's Samantha's older half sister?
No, Samantha's gone.
Oh, gotcha.
I would love it if they sat around and was like, she just left us. We never hear from her again. She's a bitch. She did something else, like almost a little bit of reality. And then, okay, no, I have a better one. And then Carrie goes, what is this 23andMe? And then they're like, all talking, and then Charlotte talks about and then that's how she meets this sister. She didn't really have mom, and then that happens.
Okay, I'll buy that.
And then Sharon Stone could be in it.
But yeah, I agree with most of the juicy scoopers that it's time to let Sex and the City.
It
Let's
go.
just watch reruns if you need to watch it. And the 2 movies, one of them pretty great, the original movie, and the second one, good, laughably good.
The second one
is so bad.
It's only
good.
10 years old, and it's already so dated and so offensive on so many levels. It's like crazy. When I watch it now, like I didn't even realize when I went to go see it. People did say it was offensive back then, but I was like, what? I didn't get it. Like how they're like, you're talking and you're missing her eating the French fries under her veil.
Right. I know. It was real bad. Real bad. I don't know who had the idea to bring them to the Middle East. There was many other ways they could have went with that.
Oh, honey, I'll tell you why. The producer wanted to get fucked by a young Middle Eastern boy that lived there. Next thing I know, Darren Star wrote a whole script for me to sweat my clitoris off with a bowl of hummus and talk and age shame me the whole time. I think there was some weird, like business deal. Why they had to leave and go there.
I know. Of all places. Like, go to Paris.
Like, it just made no sense.
You could have done the same plot line. You could have run into Aiden at a rug store in Paris.
Okay, Kelly, we're going to get to the juicy thing. Now, I know you're not always up on the Housewives, but there is a new season of Real Housewives of Potomac.
Okay.
And these women, they're in their 4th season, but the world is discovering them because it's some real shit going on.
Yeah.
And a physical fight broke out last night.
Wow.
And I want you to see
the fight. Like 2 women punching each other.
I want you to see the fight.
Oh, please.
And, they broke the 4th wall. The producers had to put down their cameras and to take away these women, separate them. And I just want to play it here and then get your opinion of who you think is right, wrong. What do you think? Being that you're a man you came from the streets.
I am from the streets, yes.
Okay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh.
Look how long she's still holding her head.
Yeah.
She's still holding her hair. I mean, we're going on like 40 seconds of holding her hair. Look how many people are trying to peel her claw off of her head.
Wow. Oh, her hair got messed up.
Okay, then.
Now those are two housewives from Potomac.
From Potomac. Monique just lost her shit.
Okay.
And first it started where they were kind of taunting each other. And at one point, the girl whose head got grabbed did have a broken glass or somehow. But then once the girl grabbed her hair and everyone got involved to try to separate them, then 2 producers come. I'm telling you, the Monique, her claw on the top of Candace's head would not release, they could not get it off of her.
Yeah.
It went on for that long. Then they get Candace calmed down. They're putting her in her car so she can go home. That girl goes around the back. It's like this winery barn. She goes around the back and starts booking for the car. And they have to stop her again.
Wow. And that is because the ratings of Potomac weren't great. So they're like, could you guys punch each other in the face and try and get some people to watch this one?
Well, later on, the husband was not happy with Monique.
And Monique is which one? The one
that held the head.
Oh, okay.
She's like, I assume this is what it was like when Indians scalped Americans. I don't know what a scalping is. It looked like she was going to fucking rip the top of her head off. Yeah. Okay. So she was talking, and Chris, her husband, is a former NFL player, and he's just pissed. He's like, I like them as a couple. What are you doing? And she goes, she came at me. And my mom taught me the minute someone comes at you, you step on their foot and you punch them in the face. And I'm just like, I've never been in a physical fight my whole life.
It's a good thing because you have some hair to grab. Like you could latch onto that for a while.
And my boys have never been in a physical fight.
Yeah,
and they're like old now.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they would know what to do.
No, yeah.
All I hear about whenever I think about a physical fight is just lawsuit.
That's what it is now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You used to be able to just punch each other and that'd be the end of it. But now I just see like one guy punching another guy, the guy falling down, hitting his head on like the ground and becoming paralyzed, and then you go to jail for the rest of your life. You know, like none of it seems.
It's not like West Side Story, right?
No, I don't think so.
Which also didn't turn out well because someone brought a knife to the fight. But in the past, they would just go meet. Or like in Greece, they would just go meet and like beat each other up.
Right. Or in The Outsiders, that happened as well. Remember?
Yes.
It was just, yeah.
That was when you were growing up, right? During The Outsiders.
Kind of. I had a very.
Have you ever been in a physical fight?
Yes, I have. Yeah. It's so embarrassing.
Well, do tell.
I got into like a full-on fist fight in a bar in New York City.
How old were you?
Not that long ago. It
What?
was during Chelsea Lately. I was on Chelsea Lately. It was so sad. Like a full-on, like falling down through tables, fist fight.
Hold on. What year is it?
This is probably, I'm not really good with, but Chelsea Lately's happening.
Okay.
I'll give you a quick backstory. I don't know. For some reason, I was with a friend of mine. His name's Eric, and I was with the comedian Jessie Mae Peluso was with me too.
Yes.
People who knew us a little bit from Chelsea Lately. So there was this was a kind of it's called the Mean Fiddler. This bar, it's still there. It's on.
You wanted to fight? Hold on.
Yeah.
At a place in New York City called the Mean Fiddler.
Mean Fiddler. It's in Times Square. Yeah.
I mean, could anything be more cliche?
Exactly. Jen Kirkman said, "Next time, go to a place called the Nice Fiddler."
You're at the Mean Fiddler.
Let me tell a little backstory on the Mean Fiddler. The Mean Fiddler, it's right in the heart of Broadway, and it was a place that Kevin Spacey used to like to go to a lot to meet the young rough guys. Like because it was.
You know what I mean? The young rough guys.
You know, like it was kind of known. It was kind of known in Times Square
to pick up young boys and molest them.
No, well, not young boy, like at least 22 or 23. You know,
so it was kind of a gay bar.
Not a gay bar, but like I think Kevin Spacey liked like regular straight guys
that might have
he liked to buy him drink. You know, he
like straight with a history of abuse, get them drunk enough.
There you go. Exactly.
And they close their eyes, and maybe you hand them a few bucks.
Sure. So Spacey was in there a lot, like because
doing that.
Everybody would get excited because it's Kevin Spacey.
Right.
So he had a bunch of like frat guys buying him drinks and stuff, and he loved that. So Spacey was in there a lot. You know. So anyway, that's just a little backstory.
Okay.
So I had some Irish guy came up, you know, and knew me from Chelsea, whatever. And one of those dudes who puts his arm around you and, you know, hey, man, I'm a fan. And then the arm starts to get more tighter and tighter around the back of your neck. Like it becomes more aggressive when you're like, thank you. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you don't like fans? And I'm like, no, I'm good. You know, one of those deals.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm good. It's good. I'm fine. You know, just, you know. So that was what's happening.
Okay, so then he goes, you don't like a fan?
He was like, oh, I'm sorry, bro. And he kind of like ripped my shirt a little bit. And
actually caused a tear?
Yeah. Like,
oh my God.
Tore my shirt. So I walked away. And then I had been drinking a little bit. So I let it fester. I was at the bar and I let it fester that he had ripped my shirt. So about 10 minutes later, I'm letting this stew and I just got angry. And I went back over and I just punched the guy right in the face. He went flying.
Did you punch him with your Irish side or your Italian side?
You know, at that point,
I think it was the Irish.
It might have been the Irish side. It was an Irish pub.
You were drunk.
Drunk. You know, this is back in my days of like, I used to go out and have a good time.
Okay, well, this doesn't sound like a good time. So you punched him how?
Like in the face. He falls to
So when you walk up to him, and what do you say?
Nothing. You go right because he was big, like a big Irish guy.
So you're sitting there for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He's moved on with his life.
Now living his life. And yeah, he didn't even remember me. Not go.
And you go up
and
you do a
fist in the face.
And where does it go? The cheek, a nose? How do you punch someone?
Yeah. Well, what you want to do is, I mean, I don't know anything about fighting.
Yes, you do, obviously.
But you punch, and then once they're falling back, you go for the throat. With your hand.
And then what do you do?
Then you have kind of control if you got them by the throat, and then you try and stay on top of them as and get him down to the ground.
And
hopes that everybody comes and breaks it up then. And then you're free and clear.
And you're seen as the winner because they're on the ground.
Like you want what happened in this, what we just showed, Potomac.
Okay.
You want everyone to run over and break it up and be like, oh, that's the end of that. It was one punch in the end. However, that's what I thought was going to happen. But everybody was like, I punched the guy, and all of a sudden I was like, whoa, let it happen. Like, it just moved, I went out of the way, like, let's let this fight happen. So it became more of a fight than I wanted it to. We fell through like a beer pong table. It was crazy. They tell my shirt was like torn off.
And how long did just the two of you go at it? Did he punch you?
Yeah. Oh, I have a picture of my face was pretty beaten up.
Did you have to go on Chelsea lately shortly after?
We were on a hiatus at the time.
So you had time to let it heal?
Right.
And then what, does the cops get called?
No, not in this situation. So they wound up kicking this guy out. He was pretty drunk. So they kicked this guy out. They let me stay. At one point, I'm overhearing people like, what's happening? What's happening? And I'm overhearing people saying, this fight's over, and I'm standing at the bar, shirt's ripped off. And
does anybody give you like a bag of frozen peas or something? No. I would think they'd have that at the
they
Irish
were like,
pub.
They were like handing me like Jameson shots. Like, oh, yeah, bro. And then I'm down the bar a ways. I hear a girl telling another girl what had happened. And people who were talking about that the guy from Chelsea lately was in the bar.
Yeah.
Some people knew, some people didn't. And I hear the girl
Not the people from Fortune's
no,
show.
Not
go
those
on.
people. But I hear the girl go, what happened? She goes, oh, there was a fight. And the other girl goes, who got into a fight? And the girl goes, I don't know, some anchor man. So she was just like, some anchor man from a TV show or something. I don't know who it was, but I was like, oh, great. Here I am getting my ass kicked, and she thinks I'm an anchor man.
So what about breaking the beer pong table?
We went through the beer pong table.
No, I mean, nobody
no.
They didn't say you need to pay for this.
No, nothing like that. As a matter of fact, they were giving me like shots of Jameson to the point where I was just like, I can't even drink any more Jameson. And I walked to my hotel, which wasn't far up the street.
Did you put some ice on your face?
Yeah. I wish I.
How was your hand?
Cut to years later.
Yeah.
Joe Coy texts me.
Yes.
Joe Coy is walking up to play Madison Square Garden or whatever Joe Coy is doing now, and he walks past the Mean Fiddler, and the owner is out front, and he recognizes Joe Coy.
Yeah.
And he says to Joe Coy, hey, Joe, come inside for a drink. This is where Chris Franjola got his ass kicked. And Joe Coy texts me. He's like, did you get your ass kicked at the Mean Fiddler?
No way.
Yeah, so, isn't that funny? So anyway, that's my one fight story.
Wow. And before that fight, how many years had it been?
Oh.
Like grade school?
Yeah, like one other one probably. One other one on like a baseball field after a game or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there was a lot of like throat grabbing. You know, but it never gets to punching. There's a lot of like, they grab your throat or you grab their throat and just say, don't talk about my lady or things like that.
I think the last time I got in a physical fight was with my sister Sharon.
Oh, see that? But
we shared a bedroom,
okay.
And we had twin beds.
Yeah.
And in between the twin beds, we started to shove each other a little.
Uh-huh.
And my dad had just started working at home in real estate, so he was in the office, and he was like, hey, what the hell are you guys doing? And then it was like, we just weren't allowed to fight. That was the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, we would get in trouble if we fought. So we literally stopped fighting once my dad started working from home. Like, that was the end.
That's
we
good.
never got
Did you ever feel like, was there any aggressive that you thought something might go down? Ever in your life at a bar back in the days when you used to hang out in Westwood and things like that? Did you ever get any vibe that?
From a girl, never, ever, ever.
Really? That's good.
Never. I mean, I would be like the worst fighting person ever. Like,
I don't know. You got like long limbs and stuff. You just start swinging.
I've never even taken like a boxing class. I don't even know. I'm not athletic.
Yeah.
I really think I'd be so scared about my face and my hair
Right.
and stuff. I'd just be terrified.
Yeah.
No, I've never even come close to someone like in my face or being a bitch or nothing.
Right. I think it's bad. I hope to never, ever have any type of confrontation ever again. Because I think now, if I ever got into a fight now in life, it would be sad.
If I was on this cast and this happened, 100% I would have had completely peed my pants.
Yeah.
Like that's been happening since I was a little girl, even before childbirth. Like something scares me, something is upsetting, pee. And now I can't stop it. So
Really?
now it's just...
But just a little bit, like trickle or a lot?
Sometimes it's a trickle, but in a situation like this, it probably would have like completely like there's been a few times where I've gotten so upset, like with my
Yeah.
kids or something, that I've like jumped up and like said, stop it or whatever, and it's just pee, and it's like, oh my God, like if I'm not wearing
Yeah.
jeans or something, you might actually see it on the floor.
Oh, really? That much?
But it only happens like once a year of something really like upsetting.
Oh.
But I'm saying if I was here, that just everything I would have like, oh my God, peed.
Good thing you weren't at the Mean Fiddler when like some anchor woman peed on the floor.
During my Chelsea Late, even though people would say that, they go, "Aren't you on the news?"
Yeah, that was
because it's like the way we stood there. It like in
Yeah.
their memory, if they're not, they go,
Right.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I
Yes.
remember at one point.
Whoops, sorry.
I remember that's not. I
Yeah.
remember at one point the Mean Fiddler had called Chelsea Lately saying they had the security footage of the fight and wanted to, but there was some reason why we couldn't use it. They did have it.
Because there's no way Tom and Brad wouldn't have wanted
I know
that.
something happened, but they did have the security footage.
Well, I think it was probably a good idea that we didn't share it, because that guy
I
could have
know.
come back and
Right,
sued
exactly.
you. So
Yeah,
why would you
yeah.
have wanted
No,
that?
I didn't. I'm glad it all went away.
Moving on, Shannon Tatum is back in his hot body.
Finally,
What was that?
Magic Mike.
Magic Mike mode. So he's
Yeah.
back. He's doing a film. He's hot as ever. The dad bod is gone. He's moved on to
The
being
dad
hot
bod
again.
is gone, but he still has like a Cro-Magnon look about him.
What's Cro-Magnon
It's
mean?
like an early man, before it was like a caveman. He's got like a caveman look to his face. Like when he popped as a star, I was like, that's an interesting one. He's a great dancer, and I actually enjoyed him in some movies. But then his career just kind of fizzled.
Okay, when he was in the first one where he met his wife, and he was like the bad boy, street dancer, and she's the
Yeah.
ballerina. And we watched that movie so many times because when I worked on Dance Flick with the Wayans brothers, it was a parody of all these movies.
Right.
And he was fucking sexy as shit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The opening number
And then
is great.
the Magic Mike, get on it. I mean, if I ever come across and that's on, I will stop the TV. Like, fuck. He's
Yeah.
hot. I'm thinking about it right now.
Okay. You're going to pee?
I mean, I'm going to like rub one out.
Uh,
Okay, what do you think? I watched this little thing. It was a pretty lame video. This is with Carole Baskin. They did, they're trying to say that they brought some canine dogs,
Yeah.
whatever, on some lake. And they
Uh-huh.
said even if there was a meat grinder and we dumped the food, we dumped his meat grinder
be
body
long
to
gone.
alligators, there might be a tooth or something in the water, and the dogs can sense that.
Okay.
I call bullshit.
Totally.
There is no way like a dog can sense a man's tooth from a meat grinder that the alligators didn't digest from 5 years ago or whenever it
It
was.
was even longer ago than that. It was like 20 years ago or something. Yeah.
I don't think it was 20.
I think it was like 1998 or that's what I had heard. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I know
What do
she's
you
on
think?
Dancing with the Stars now. Have you seen the commercial that they're airing during
Yes.
Dancing with the Stars? The family is airing a commercial basically
Yeah.
saying, she killed our father, and then they
Right.
cut back to her dancing. I believe she's still on Dancing with the Stars. She hasn't been voted off yet.
No, she gets the worst scores, but then like America saves her.
Because she's-
Yeah,
yeah, people are
or
tuning in.
or the producer save
Yeah,
her,
right,
whoever.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was so over Tiger King. Like it was fun when all this pandemic first started.
And
It was
I
like-
got it, and
like
I
a-
was her on the bike.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like our first thing that we all kind of grabbed onto when this whole
When this was fun.
When this was fun.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we were all like, "Oh, let's all talk about tech because we were trapped in our homes. Let's watch
Yes.
this stupid show." But now I see her and like him. He got beat up in prison or something the other day, and I was like, "Oh, they're just all such losers." Like,
I know. And then but she's going to do some other show. So I don't know. I don't think
Yeah.
we're ever going to know. I don't think she's ever going to be tried or convicted. There's no way there's enough evidence left or around. And the only thing would be if someone said, "Yeah, I helped her do it." And that's still not enough.
now, just because, I mean, honestly, it is a strange story, and there's always been
Yeah.
rumors that she's done it. So that's enough to, like, kind of not have her on
Right.
Dancing with the Stars.
Right.
She's
No.
kind of accused of murder, but like, I'll screw it. It's fun. This is like, how soon before, and I'm not kidding when I say this, like an O.J. Simpson could get on. Now, I'm not saying something as big as Dancing with the Stars, but somebody eventually will find a way to get him in to some sort of reality show.
Well, throughout the years, he has come very close, gone very far to getting stuff, doing things, and it always takes it. And then it's literally like the night before that finally someone's like, you know what?
Bad idea.
Bad idea.
Yeah, right.
No, like one of the main things was Judith Regan, who was had her own publishing company. She published the book If I Did It with OJ, and she was going to do a one-on-one interview with him and everything. And this recently came out when all the documentaries came out about it. And it was ready to go. Yeah. And literally I can't remember the details, but at the last minute it was pulled. And
that book never came out, right?
The book did come out.
Oh, it did?
It did come out, and it was basically, if I did it, which I didn't, this is what it would be. And I remember being at Barnes & Noble. I didn't buy it because I'm like a starving kid, but I literally would sit at Barnes & Noble when I was unemployed and literally like read an entire book, go to the bathroom, because that place is like my target. Like, so you got reading and a coffee inside. Like, I was like, this is
going.
Get you going out in the afternoon. And I'm not buying this $24 book. I basically read it in there. And it was like, if I did it, it's because I brought a friend there with me who just to confront Nicole, and the friend lost his mind and killed Nicole in my presence. And then we left. And I didn't do it. And then people analyze that. Is the friend his like other ego?
Right.
So he's actually confessing that he had like this second personality that did it. That's not really him. I don't know. It was so weird. And then of course the family of the Goldmans, they kind of stopped that. But they just recently released some of that interview or something.
Oh, really?
But years later. But I'm saying throughout the years, and then there's been stories, well, couldn't his daughter have a reality show and he could be like a second player and she'd be getting all the money? The older daughter, Arnell. So I've heard through the years she's been in talks to have a reality show. Oh. And he would be like the Bradshaw dad on E! Like, have you seen previews for that awful thing?
Bradshaw?
Terry Bradshaw has a new show on E! Called The Bradshaw Bunch or something, and it's him and his second wife and his 3 blonde daughters.
Terry Bradshaw, the quarterback for the Pittsburgh?
Has a reality show on E! Yes.
Oh, Jesus. What do people like? Oh, like what happens? Do you owe somebody money or something that you have to keep? Like Terry Bradshaw has had like a nice career. He works on Fox. He does football.
100%. His daughters are blonde and have nothing to do, and he's doing this so that they can become the Kardashians.
Right.
And either someone approached them and talked them into it,
tried
or
that with the Gastineaus.
Yeah, or they tried it themselves, or they're like, "Dad, just do it," and he's like, "Sure." But then people were saying it's so again really tone deaf. Like an entire episode was. Did his daughter get a boob job? So he tries to get his daughter in a bikini so he can investigate.
Oh, jeez.
Now, I did not see the episode, but that is what I read on the Juicy Scoop Obsessed. And they're like, what is this show? Like, and then he constantly has his shirt off, and they're like, Dad, put your shirt on. You know, that's the way I think. Like
Terry Bradshaw has his shirt off? He's a 75-year-old
He's like
man.
walking around the house like old farty dads do without a shirt, but the e-cameras just happen to be there.
Right.
And then the whole topic was, did his daughter get a boob job? And he wanted to find out. So he was like, we got to take her swimming.
I mean, honestly, I swear to God, that was the same plot from the Hulk Hogan show years ago. He did the same exact plot line.
Did Brooke get
a boob job, and he got her in a bikini? I think they're just rehashing old scripts from the Hogan family.
If I have to see another reality show upcoming season preview involving people going and smashing old plates and old TVs at the smash stores.
Oh, that's a thing, yeah.
That's a thing. It's been a thing for 2 years. First of all, are those places still staying open?
You can't touch the same sledgehammer as Terry Bradshaw. You know what I mean? Gross.
Because of Corona.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't know. But like people, I mean, I understand.
Axe throwing, that was a big one too. Axe throwing.
We just saw an axe throwing, someone just did an axe throwing on some show. Yeah. Oh, they did on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Axe throwing, you always used to say the Lost. What did you say?
You always used to say it was like, what was the first one they had to do? Pole dancing class.
Pole dancing. Then there was replaced by the swinging around in silks.
Oh, yes.
That exercise class.
Like a Cirque du Soleil.
A lot of soul. Let's do a charity and do soul riding,
Okay.
bike riding,
Yeah.
soul cycle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just and now it's the hacking and the throwing, and then the other one getting lost. The what do you call it? They go in a room and they're trapped in the room.
Oh, one of those escape rooms.
Escape room.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big one for a while.
Shooting, we always see that.
Yeah.
But now I feel they hold off on the shooting because that's too
Yeah,
controversial.
that might be a little controversial. I honestly thought that type of TV was kind of going away, like a Bradshaw. You know, 'cause back a couple years ago, after the Osbournes had kind of become a success. Remember Gene Simmons? Like everybody was trying. My family's crazy.
Yeah.
Put us on.
Right.
After the success of like Osbournes and Kardashians.
Every old rock star after the Osbourne was like, let's go see that, which was you're right, was the Gene Simmons thing.
Yeah.
Let's see that family.
But I really honestly thought that was kind of going away. That type of television.
I think it is. I mean, I don't think it's a hit. I don't think anyone cares about these people.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen to E once the Kardashians officially leave?
Well, I mean, honestly, I really thought E was kind of done. I haven't not turned on E in forever.
Right.
I mean, the Kardashians. I'm shocked that they're still were doing it anyway. I feel like they're like losing money doing that show. You know what I mean? They're all so successful outside of that. And I watched like 15 minutes of a new one.
Oh, was it about the coronavirus?
Yeah, they're literally just texting and eating salad. They don't even look up from the phone anymore.
No.
And they're not even, they used to like fake plot lines, you know, like we got a chicken, have Bruce chase the chicken.
Yeah.
They don't even do that anymore.
No.
They're not even phoning in plot lines.
No, it is just the salads and the phones.
Yeah.
But who knows? I don't know what will happen with
What
E.
do you think? I mean, it wasn't their ratings bonanza that it was 10 years ago.
I mean, I think they're going to still, first of all, they don't have to do the show.
No.
They never want to. So first I thought that they were doing it to protect their children. Like they didn't want them to grow up like Jim Carrey's character in Truman.
Yeah.
But now I think it's like they're going to do something like that, but on their own terms.
Yeah.
And my suggestion is that they should do like their own network or their own subscription-based thing where literally people have to pay to see their trip to Thailand.
Totally. Why wouldn't they do that? Yeah.
You know, but they also might do something way more lucrative like on Apple or Netflix or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I saw that Letterman has a show on Netflix that is like a talk show.
Right.
He had Kanye on last year. And he just announced his new season starts next week or something. But he's having, it's like 6-7 people on 6 episodes. And Kim Kardashian is one of his guests.
Right, of course.
Yeah, so which should be interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's not going to be her being Kim Kardashian. It's going to be the serious, like, lawyer Kim Kardashian who's trying to free people from prison and stuff.
Right. And did you see Ellen's apology? You saw it, right?
I did. I watched the apology. I thought it was good as far as apologies go.
Uh-huh.
We're all going to have to make one eventually these days. So, you know, it's...
But, you know, but I was like, you know, the other day she had Kris Jenner on. I feel like the last couple of years, Ellen has had a Kardashian on at least once a week.
Right.
Like, that's all she has on all the time.
On her new season?
No, like in the past 2 years, I feel like
Yeah.
she's had a Kardashian on like once a week so often. I don't know. Just thought it was kind of
You've
boring.
probably discussed this already, but what did you think of her apology?
Well, I thought the jokes were corny.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was terrible that she made a couple jokes.
Right.
I thought it was going to be, my prediction was that it was going to be straight camera. I thought there were going to be tears.
Right.
I thought we were going to see the big blue eyes cry. A little shocked we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
That she went a more comedic route.
Yeah.
Which wasn't that funny.
Yeah.
But some of it was a little bit funny.
Yeah.
And then again, she didn't have a full audience. So again, some of the laughs were still quieted because it's just the staff.
Right.
So I think that made it hard.
I thought the part that really played phony to me was after she made the apology, she goes and sits down, and then she's talking to the DJ guy who's, you know, and she goes,
Yeah.
tell everyone you've been promoted to executive producer. And I'm like, oh, you're going to be that person now? Like, I promoted one of my, I'm not so bad. I promoted one of my workers to executive producer. You're like, oh, I see what we're doing here.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Right.
Another show I'll never be asked to be on, but that's
Can I
okay.
ask you a question? Now, if you had to make an apology, can you, for whatever reason,
Yes.
can you give us your apology? What would it be? I remember one of the original apologies was Michael Richards, Kramer, on. Remember what he said? He
said the N-word on stage where he
at the
he
Laugh
lost
Factory.
he lost his cool on set.
One of the
He said he was being heckled while he was doing stand-up. post Seinfeld.
One of the first video, like phone captures.
Someone captured
ever.
it, and in yelling at these guys that he claimed were heckling him, he used the N-word.
Right.
In which then that really changed the N-word in comedy. In fact, the Laugh Factory owner said, nobody can use the N-word. I don't care who you are on my stage.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jamie Masada said nobody can use it.
Wow.
And then there was sort of a backlash with certain comics that use it. And they're
Right.
like, well, screw you. And so then I think the rule just went away because,
yeah.
you know, you're not going to tell Dave Chappelle what he can say. But I don't know if Dave Chappelle was ever doing the Laugh Factory. But go on.
But I remember when Jerry Seinfeld went on Letterman.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty nice of him to do.
Right.
And said, everybody, here's Michael Richards to apologize. And then Michael Richards came on via,
Oh.
He was in a location or whatever. And he said, like, something else bad. He said, like, I love colored people. So another word that was just as bad. In the apology, he said something like that. So it was kind of a real bad apology. But it was like one of the first ones. Anyway, if you had to make an apology, what route would you go? Would you go funny like Ellen did? Go ahead and give us your apology.
Why don't you come up with, I got it. I got
Yeah.
the apology I have to come up with.
Okay.
There's footage of me
Okay.
at
You probably, yeah. Okay.
at a Ralph's parking lot. And I did not return my cart. And it rolled in and hit someone's car.
Mm-hmm.
And then that person went out, was like, how is this car hitting my car? And they hopped out and didn't realize they stopped their car, and the car kept rolling. And then they were further injured.
Wow.
And it was all caught on tape that I had not put my cart away.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm going to do it to this camera.
Yeah, this camera, please.
Well, I'm going to take your advice.
Okay.
I'm going to do no lashes.
Yeah, you got to go.
No lashes. I'm not going to curl my hair. I'm going to dry it straight.
Okay. That's the way to go. You
Okay.
Gotta,
and I do want to have a healthy glow.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to do like lotions and concealer and like blush, golden eyeshadow, but barely any line or nothing.
I still think you should do a makeup tutorial for apology videos.
Well, I basically just did it.
Yeah,
I basically just said, but I will do the face.
That's good.
First, I want to thank everybody for tuning into this. Thank you for taking the time. Because time is something that I did not value. There is no excuse for what I did. I was at Ralph's. My kids were doing their Zoom school. This isn't about the fact that every child on Zoom school's education is being compromised. I don't want to derail what this is about. My kid said, Mommy, can we have some bacon today? And I said, okay, it's been 4 days since you've had real bacon. I know you don't like that turkey bacon Dad got. So I went to Ralph's, I got the bacon, and when I was leaving, I was putting it in, and my son Brandon called, and he said, my next Zoom class starts at 9:15, and I looked, and it was 8:40. And I thought, if I don't get to them right now
With the bacon
and start making that food, he's going to have to wait till 10:15 to have his breakfast.
Right.
And I just shoved the cart away.
Yeah.
And I got in the car, and I remember thinking, I got to feed my babies.
No, we all understand.
They're 17 and they're 14 and they're starving.
These are stressful times for everyone.
But it was. I mean, if we were in this situation, my kids would have been in school.
Yeah.
If there was a pandemic, I wouldn't have been blinded by my mask that went up to my eyelid. And I laughed without a care in the world. And when I got the news that the elderly woman hadn't put her car in park, which, by the way, she shouldn't have been driving.
Yeah.
She's 91. And to find out that she, is now has a boot on her leg,
That's sad.
all because of me. I just want to say, that woman in the Rouse parking lot at Winnetka and Ventura, I don't know her. She's not the Heather who cares about you guys. She's not the Heather that does content. She's not the Heather that's a friend. She's not the Heather that's a citizen. Mm-hmm. She's a really bad Heather.
It's a bad Heather.
I don't ever see her again.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was brave.
Now.
That was really good. That was a good. You're going to be good. Now if you ever have to make one, people
now,
like,
can you critique it a little?
Yeah.
Okay, critique it. I want you to critique it like everybody's comments under it on the video. I'm going
to say what's going to happen.
I don't think you ever heard.
Okay,
no,
well then that's fine.
That's critique number one.
Okay, so Kelly just made a critique.
Yeah.
I never said I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And it sounded like you were blaming other things, like you were blaming
What?
the pandemic. That's what people will say.
Okay.
People are going to say.
Okay.
You didn't take full responsibility.
Okay.
You know, kind of like Ellen blamed executive producer. I didn't know anything.
Got it.
A little of that. But otherwise, pretty solid. Good. The right amount of tears. But
Actually, none came out. I think I would
not
prepare.
too much.
If it was real, you caught me on the spot.
Yeah.
I think I would have cried more knowing that I was going to like lose sponsors and stuff.
Yeah. Right.
But you know what would happen in this day and age? Full circle. Guess who's the new spokesperson of Amazon grocery store? Me. Because the carts return themselves.
I watched your video.
I know, but I'm saying that's what I'm talking about. Like,
do they really return themselves?
No, not yet.
Oh.
But
yeah.
What I'm saying is also in this day and age, just when you think like, okay, you're fucked. You're never going to get a grocery store to sponsor you.
Yeah.
No, I brought so much, like, ha.
Right.
You know, like, almost like, you know, Hugh Grant, I picked up a prostitute.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Like, so watch.
Exactly.
It could be
Look at
something
Carole Baskin.
positive.
Carole Baskin.
That's what I'm saying. All of a sudden, it turns into something positive, which is crazy. Oh, this is kind of juicy. There's a Real Housewife of OC that is dropping hints that they're going to break up, she and her husband.
Oh.
And she's been dropping hints, I think, that she made out with a character last year who was a girl. And so I think she's going to come out as wanting to pursue her bisexuality.
Someone on Orange
Real
County.
Housewife of OC. Okay. And everybody thinks that it's, and this is a Juicy Scoop Obsessed prediction. My prediction is it's Braunwyn. So she hasn't been posting about her husband. And even this photo that she did a little like she even wore like, she kind of doing that big dick energy, like leg stance that a lot of people do. Mm-hmm. This became a popular look to do in the last 3 years.
As like in a photo shoot.
In photo shoot, you spread out your legs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what you do.
That's a great. I like.
I grew up with always cross your legs.
Yeah.
Look thinner. Now it's spread them.
Spread them open.
Spread them open. It shows that you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That it's, you know, that you can spread your legs. Every photo is like that. Big spread out legs. It's either just your ass or spread out leg photo.
I like it. I'm all right with it. I think that's good. I don't think it would have been as good a picture if she had her legs crossed. I think it's good that she.
It works with those boots.
Yeah, it works with those boots. She's sending out a vibe, I think.
She's been seen with this woman a lot. That she's, you know, this is just her and her friend, and they're like both are really attractive, and they have like wet T-shirts on and just like white bikini bottoms.
Yeah. Remember what happened to the wet T-shirt? That was a big deal after a while. Wet T-shirt contests at like bars and stuff.
I've been asked to be in a wet T-shirt contest. Yes.
Where? I think you would
Cancun,
do very well at a wet T-shirt.
1991.
Get out. Really?
Yes, spring break. Spring break. Well, they didn't call it wet T-shirt. They call it tan contest. Who's the tannest?
So how do? You get up on stage and they hose you down?
Well, it was the So my friend who really was tan, we were like, well, you should do it. You're the tannest. But then the guys were like, no, to me, like, well, you should do it too.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, I'm not as tan as Stacey. She's part, you know, American Indian. Like, she's really tan.
Yeah. So,
I never did it, but let me just tell you.
Did your friend, the American Indian,
she
do it?
did it. She didn't win.
Yeah.
This like a really hot Asian girl won that had just had a really good body, who was also tan. But I think like she had some fun with it. But no, I was just like, I'm a rule follower. I'm like,
Yeah.
it says a tan contest.
Right. I don't want to get up there and with the. But you're pretty tan, like you.
I wasn't as tan as
Yeah.
she. Let me just tell you though, God, it's a flattering look.
Oh, it's a great
Why?
look.
Why more girls? Listen, girls, social influencers out there.
Yeah.
Stop taking your underwear up your asshole and turning around and looking like that.
Right.
Start doing this look.
100%.
Not enough people. Go in your pool. Get the men's
Those
Hanes.
Men's Hanes, they call
Also, if you don't have the greatest stomach, you can pull it off your stomach. Have
Yeah.
it just cling to your tits.
Exactly.
And look amazing.
Yeah, it's an amazing look. It looks great on these girls.
Kelly,
I've
can you
never-
get some white tanks for me?
Yeah. I've actually never seen it look bad on it. That was a lot of times you would get like a Jennifer
Here's to
Aniston could pull that
Braunwyn,
off.
bringing back the wet tea of
the
1989,
wet tank top
91.
Yeah, let's bring it back.
Bring
I
it
say
back, you guys.
Wet ass
Here's
tank.
another one. Here's another photo of them. Thelma and Louise. They went on a road trip.
So
Those
this
two
is
girls.
like her coming out or something, right? I mean, that's
We don't really know, but something's coming.
Yeah, it
I mean, all I have to do is
seems
just
that
look
way.
at her Instagram, and it's a lot of hints. Have you heard about Mariah Carey's new book? It's pretty
I've heard
fucking
about
juicy.
Her, she did a thing with Oprah Winfrey
Right.
Interview. As a matter of fact, my last time at Craig's, which we talked about earlier, she sat right next to me. Very exciting.
How'd she
some
look?
and some woman came up to like say hi to her, and about 9 security guards came and stopped the woman before she got there. Like out of nowhere, they came like Secret Service kind of shit.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
And what? How'd she look?
She looked good. She looked like Mariah Carey. You know what I mean? Like she wasn't dressed down. She was.
What happened with that
full-on-
lawsuit with that weird manager? Remember that? That just kind of went
Yeah,
away.
who was trying to get a
Stella.
reality show for a while.
And then I told you I had lunch with that woman.
Yeah, I had lunch with her too. Or whatever. It's a long. But yeah, she was somehow involved in a lunch I was at.
Well,
one time.
this is some juice. Now, we know she was married to Tommy Mottola when she was like 22 or something. And he was like 49.
Yes.
And we've heard the stories about that, about how she felt she was kind of trapped, almost like a princess in a tower that could never leave.
Yeah.
That's obviously included in this book. But this was something that we never heard.
She is from an area. I'm from Long Island, as is Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
So we're from a similar upbringings, and I had heard about this sister. One of her sisters died of AIDS, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. She was a hooker, I think. I believe so. If I'm not wrong, maybe I don't know.
I think you might be wrong because I think this sister might still be alive.
But there's
Maybe
another one. There was another one, I think.
All right. Well, she is the younger sister to Allison, 57. So this girl
okay.
must have been just 7 years older than she, because I think she's 49 or 50, Mariah Carey. And she tried to drug her. She gave her a Valium at 12 and tried to sell her to a pimp.
Jesus.
Yeah, that sister is the HIV positive.
Oh,
okay.
she's HIV positive,
alive.
but she's
Oh,
alive.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was.
And then she got arrested for prostitution, and
Yeah.
just very sad. But I mean, trying to sell her out to be I mean, God, I thought I had some sibling issues.
Yeah.
Jesus, nothing. And but it's just interesting. And then she marries such an older guy, and then I'm very excited to read this book.
Yeah.
I think this should be required reading for the Juicy Scoopers.
I have that's going to be an exciting book. I mean, she's had a life, Mariah Carey. You know?
I always think it's so interesting how like there's stories that they would like change the sizes of her costumes
to what?
smaller. So then she would say, I feel fat. And they'd be like, Mariah, it's still a 4. Stop it. You look
Oh.
great. And they'd get like skinny mirrors in
Yeah.
there and stuff. And then she'd come out and people would be like, she looks huge. But then she just still had such confidence.
Yeah. That's just her look, you know. She's just kind of like, she's never going to be skinny. She looks
I
like
mean, I think she
Mariah
looks
Carey,
great. I
yeah.
know. But yeah, I think she looks great. Okay. What else do you want to talk about? You have anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, how do you feel about? You guys are not Halloweening this year, are you? I mean, you guys, kids are too old at this point.
Well,
for
funny that
or-
you bring that up.
Okay. yeah.
Because I actually will be making my first appearance
Wow.
live doing stand-up
What?
at the Tempe Improv, one show a night, October 29th and 30th.
Okay.
And I have a couple girlfriends who are either not doing Halloween or they don't have their kids.
Yeah.
And so we're going to stay Halloween night in
In-
Scottsdale
Wow.
and have like another fun night where I don't have to do stand-up. And so, I mean, my one son's too old. Both of them are kind of too old to trick or treat anyway. So the younger one already can go to someone's house.
Yeah.
And I mean, I thought it was like canceled. So they did say canceled. Then they've been lifting some of the. They're not encouraging people to go trick or treating, but they're not saying you can't go trick or treating. They're saying they gave some ideas of things to do. Like what?
The CDC, and they were like, why don't you have like a Zoom costume party, like. The kids come in front of.
Stop trying to make like Zoom and visual, like virtual shit fun.
Yeah,
it's not.
Like the kids walk in front of the camera, and go, oh, "Look, I'm Little Mermaid." And I guess I was like, let the kids have something. Like they don't have school. They don't have.
I don't understand why they can't do it because you're literally in a hazmat suit. Your costume.
I know.
You put the kid in a mask. He's got gloves on.
Right.
The candy is covered.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I saw a thing, I think it was a joke online, but I don't think it's a bad idea. It's like this guy made a tube, like a 6-foot tube, that cardboard, and you just throw the candy down the tube and it goes into the bag. So you don't even have to get near anybody. Just shoot it down a tube into the little trick-or-treaters' bags. I mean, I think it's kind of a good idea.
They said Knott's Berry Farm.
That's all done, right?
No, they kind of opened it. No rides, but you can like walk around and get food and look at decorations. And then this woman on the news goes, well, why can we wait in line for food?
Yeah.
But we can't wait in line to go on the ride. And I was just like, I don't know. Just let's like get through the year. Like just at this point, just fucking just call it a day.
It's all canceled, right?
It's just over. Like whatever. But everybody, I'm going to be at the Tempe Improv. It is half capacity.
Okay.
They're taking lots of precautions. I'm excited to go.
That's exciting. So then you guys rented a house or something there?
No, I'm going to stay at we're looking at resorts.
Oh, okay.
I want to stay at like a nice place. But
so then the girls, they live
they're
there?
Going to come. One girl lives there and then someone will stay at her house and then my sister may come stay with me.
You don't do costumes or anything? You're not Halloweening, like you're not going to go to like a costume party?
I don't want to.
No?
I mean, you know what I'd like to do is just wear like a really flattering, do what I always tell everybody, do big cat.
Big cat,
because it shortens your nose.
It does look nice.
You put that little thing on your nose and you do little whiskers.
Mm-hmm.
You do some like extra lashes. You
and
do the ears, heightens your face with the ears. Done.
Tail.
Yeah, like maybe we'll go to like a sexy steak place, but I'll look like a little slutty cougar or something.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just do that. Mm-hmm. I mean, listen, I'm not going to be invited to like a good party like I used to be.
Yeah.
Nobody likes me anymore. I'm not being invited to anything. So, and I can't imagine there can't be a good Hollywood party.
Don't the
like,
Kardashians normally have a big one? Isn't she have a big
I haven't been to one of those in a long time.
Yeah.
But I mean, yes. So I used to go to some good ones and with the kids, and we all would trick or treat in Hidden Hills, and it was just the time of my life, and I'm so glad I never missed it.
Right.
One time, I had a gig right after Chelsea Lately that was paying me a lot to do a Catholic college.
Okay.
Oh my God, Mackenzie's here, so she's with us today. She was a big problem this night.
Oh.
Are you listening, Mackenzie? Oh, maybe she has her ears in.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, this is what happened. So we go into this great party in Hidden Hills, and Mackenzie went and met her Hidden Hills friends, okay? She didn't charge her phone up, okay?
Okay.
Now, the plan is for us to go have fun, and I have to leave by a certain hour because I'm taking the red eye to Boston to perform the next night.
Right.
And I really should have gone the day before, but I told my agent I will not miss a Halloween because I know I only have so many Halloweens left. I didn't think I'd lose it to a pandemic, but I knew my kids would eventually get too big and it'd get weird. We go to this killer party in Hidden Hills. Guy, it's Bruce Catering. Oh my God. Greatest food ever. All decorated. So fabulous. Take a bunch of pictures. I mean, it's like an embarrassment of riches. He has a caviar bar. He has a sushi bar. He has a cheese platter with like skulls coming out. I mean, it was just amazing. The kids are playing. Now we go trick or treat a little bit. Mackenzie goes off with her friend who lives in the area. And then we come back. Now Peter's on to like, some other liquor. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're going to I think we decide to go. So I say, okay, I'm going to take the car. I don't know where Mackenzie is, but I'm going to take the car because I got to get home, get my bag. I'm a sexy vampire, and get to LAX to get on this thing and provide for the family. So I'm really freaked out. Like, where the fuck? What if Mackenzie, we never see her again? She's kidnapped.
Yeah.
And I'm sexy vampire going to Boston. Meanwhile, our front door was having troubles with locks. Remember how I told you how my biggest problem with being a realtor is that I
It was
couldn't
turning
open
the
the lock?
keys, yeah.
I don't have a strong thumb.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that day I get home. I cannot fucking open the door. I cannot. I'm call Peter. I'm like, is there what is the key outside to get into its back door? He's like, what?
He's at the party.
Yeah, it's like Monster Mash playing in the back. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, if I don't leave in 15 minutes and my bag is inside, like, I'm going to miss the flight. We're going to miss out on this gig and I'm going to miss this money. I go running to my neighbor's house, okay, who's like our only friend that live on our street is, and I go, I need you to help me open the door. Like, I cannot do it. I disrupt their party. He goes, he can't do it. And I go, you got to break it open. I don't care what it costs because it's not going to cost what I'm going to lose on this gig. Literally.
And he smashed the door down?
He and his son kind of like broke it down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, fine. I get my bag. I literally, I'm driving. Then Peter comes home, sees like the fucked up door.
Yeah.
It's just a screaming Halloween fight, just a Halloween of horrors. Oh, we eventually find Mackenzie, who really kind of caused the whole problem.
Yeah. She's standing right
because if she charged her phone,
Yeah.
we would have all left at the same time. I was supposed to take the whole family home, but because she was missing, and he would have been able to open the door.
Right. This story's giving me anxiety.
It was horrible. I barely make the flight.
Yeah.
Get there. I'm still dressed as the sexy vampire. I did not have time to change.
In the airport.
In the airport on the plane.
Yeah.
Roll up like a hooker, okay, at 7 a.m. to try to go down to sleep before I have to perform at the Catholic college.
Right.
And the girl's like, oh, we gave your room away. We thought you were supposed to be here last night. Full-blown freak out. Like, this is the kind of thing that if something happens to me, that girl's going to be on a podcast saying she came in like a vampire screaming about how her marriage is over, her daughter was missing, like...
Broke a door down. She's just crazy. She's insane.
Bawling, crying, trying to get a hold of my agent. It's a Saturday after Halloween. No one's answering. They finally are like, okay, we found you a room. I go, finally take off my clothes, take a shower, and, get there and kill it.
Kill it. Happy Halloween, everybody. Wow.
Yeah.
That's...
So, you know what? I feel not guilty at all about saying, fuck Halloween. I'm staying another day in Scottsdale after my 2 shows at the Tempe Improv. I'm going to go to a beautiful dinner with my girlfriends. I'm going to wear just a pair of ears and mark up my nose.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. A great idea. Why not?
Now, this is your first year where your daughter could dress up a little.
Well, last year a little bit. We put her in a chicken costume.
Okay.
And she didn't know anything. This year, she still doesn't know anything, but, she could see kids. She likes kids. So
you know what's really cute about this age? But she is old enough to walk, right?
Kind of.
She might be there, maybe not.
Oh, she might be there. She's getting there.
Because when they can actually walk and then get the candy and put it in their little pumpkin.
Right.
It is the cutest time.
Oh, no, we're excited about it. We're probably just going to stay. Our neighborhood's crazy. Like, there's a ton of kids on the block.
Oh, that's going to be a COVID disaster then. They're probably going to, literally, Gavin's helicopter's probably going to come down on your neighborhood.
Yeah, so we're a little... As a matter of fact, there was an attack on my block yesterday. But some woman got attacked by her dog, like her pit bull.
Her own dog?
Yeah, and it was
her own dog?
Her own dog. And it was the talk of the block. One woman came running out, heard the screams. The other guy ran down the street and threw rocks at the dog to get it off the woman. Turns out she had to go to the house. She's a 78-year-old woman, got attacked by her own dog. And she's fine. I think she's going to live and everything. But it was quite an event on the block. And everyone's like, why didn't you do anything? I was like, because I heard screaming and I just ignored it. That's what I do. That is my MO. It has kept me safe for many, many years.
That was your dad's MO, right?
It was my dad's MO. I grew up in a long line of cowards. You hear something, you ignore it until it goes away. And it served me well.
What is it? Shut the door.
Shut the door. It's none of our business. a full-fledged fight on our front lawn when I was a child.
So
between
you're
two
the
neighbors.
opposite of see something, say something.
I say,
It's see
it.
something and turn your.
See something.
You're the monkey.
Yes, I'm the monkey. See something, walk away from it. Stay alive.
Yeah,
know.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, there's always going to be another person who's going to be a hero.
Do you imagine if you tried to be a hero,
Yes.
possibly hurt the dog in the process?
These are the
That was filmed.
right.
Who's trying to get you canceled now?
Yeah,
PETA.
exactly. Yeah.
PETA.
As a matter of fact, Jamie Foxx, remember a couple of years ago, a car crashed in front of his house, and Jamie Foxx ran out of his home and took people out of a burning car.
Wow.
And saved them. Every time I read stories like that, I'm like, I would just be like, shut the door. That's not our issue. That's not our problem.
But you would call.
Yeah.
Call, but
I
stay.
would call 911.
911, but not say your name.
Have you ever had to call 911?
Oh, yeah, I've called a few times.
Really? Recently?
Well, one was a see something, say something thing. Was like years ago.
Oh, yeah.
When I said I saw the guy smoking, talking about ISIS at the end of Natoma.
You can't do that anymore.
Well, I did.
Yeah. Right.
And the lady on the phone was not nice to me and could give a shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I thought we were supposed to see something, say something. And then I actually was on Dr. Drew's television show and I talked about it. And then the wife of a West Hills sheriff got in touch with me and was like, my husband wants to talk to you about that.
About calling 911?
No, he wanted to hear what I was talking about.
Yeah.
The 911 lady shamed me.
Yeah.
But the actual officer was like, I would wait, tell me what you saw. What did the person look like?
Right.
Another time I saw a couple fighting that was getting kind of scary. So I called then. I saw a couple I saw some crazy people fighting in the street.
Like homeless people?
Yeah.
And you call it. Yeah.
And they're tearing someone out of a car, throwing things at each other. And,
but you see, here's what you're
But
calling...
all my kids were like, don't, Mom, stop being a Karen.
Yeah. So your kids have my belief. Just keep going. Yeah, that's what I always say. Like that show you always talk about. What would
let
you
me
do?
just call just to let them come here, and then they take it from there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I can't get on the freeway after I see this and not do anything.
I think my father had the right approach when that happened. That was a full on before. One of our neighbors was masturbating to the other neighbor's wife while she sat by the pool. He had a second-story house looking down on the pool. She looked up, and there he was masturbating in the window.
Honestly, I'd be completely flattered at this point.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't know if she was flattered or not, but she went and told her husband. The husband went over, and they fought.
And that's when he said, shut the door. It's not
and they rolled onto our front lawn to fight. And my mother's like, oh, my God, they're fighting on the front lawn.
Is that how you learned how to fight? That's how you learned how to punch, hold down.
Hold down.
And so that guy was waiting for you guys to come in and break it up.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And it didn't happen. My father said, shut the door, none of our business. And they fought it out on the front lawn. And we're still alive to talk about it.
And they still stayed living there, right?
For a little while. There was a lot of problems with the one family. I don't know what became of them, but... Yeah.
My famous story is my mom. There was this couple that lived next door to us, and my dad used to call them the Stanford elites. They had a big Stanford flag that they'd gone to Stanford. And my dad thought he said, she thinks her shit smells like ice cream. That's what he used to call it. What he thought snubby people were.
Yeah, it's.
And they were Protestant,
okay,
not Catholic. And so my mom said, do you have these little Girl Scout uniforms? Your girls are older and my girls need them, and rather than pay for them, I'm just and she was real bitchy about it.
Yeah.
No, or I don't know where they are or whatever. And I was like, all right. Like, I was kind of strapped. Like, this is like, well, why not? She goes to her mailbox that day, my mom, and it's a letter that their pastor had put in my mom's mailbox by accident, not hers. And my mom opens it, and the woman is having a full-blown affair with her Protestant pastor.
Oh, wow.
It was all about
You've told the story before.
I've told it, or it's in my book.
It's juicy.
So she then, my mom said she folded up the letter, she put it in the envelope, and she went over there, and she said, oh, I'm sorry. This accidentally got put into my mailbox, and I accidentally opened it. without seeing that there was a mistake. And she said the woman's eyes fell out of her head because she saw the name and everything. And then right away, the woman goes, actually, you know what, the girls, I found those Girl Scout uniforms.
Wow.
And then she gave the Girl Scout uniforms to my mom.
And you got the Girl Scout uniform.
And then my
because
mom
of-
never told, I never
Wow.
let the husband know or anything.
Your mother would be good.
But they stayed married and they eventually moved.
So what was the guy dropping off the letter to do?
He didn't know what
But
house
he was dropping
it was.
a letter off. It was the guy
The
she was having
pastor
the
that
affair
she
with?
meant to give her a love letter and put it in the
it was a
wrong
love
mailbox. Put it in the real, because they were having an affair.
But wouldn't he be concerned that the husband would get it out of the mailbox?
No, because she was like a stay-at-home mom, whatever.
Oh, wow, that's a
And
good
it went
one.
into my mom's mailbox.
Did you wear the Girl Scout uniforms that you got?
Yeah, we were Girl Scouts for a little bit, not
Yeah.
that long, because then my mom was like, "Oh, fuck it, too many meetings."
Yeah.
Like my mom, like I was.
I've been getting a lot of ads on Facebook for they're suing the Boy Scouts of America. They keep asking have you ever been molested, by the Boy Scouts? But I was never a Boy Scout.
Well, Brandon was.
Oh, anything?
No, because we barely attended.
Yeah.
It was me, and then the one time we went for a sleepover, I
Right.
went with Mackenzie, and then I said, "This is so terrible." We weren't that far. It was like literally a Boy Scout camp in like the Palisades. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so the plan was that Peter was going to relieve us. So then Peter and Drake came to spend the rest of the night with Brandon. 5 a.m, I hear the door shut. I'm like, "What's wrong?" Peter was like, "Oh my God, fucking nightmare." Like we left. He left. He didn't even stay for the breakfast.
Well, there you go. You saved.
The
you
other
probably
time they
saved
went
him from
camping,
molesting.
it was like on the verge of like Santa Barbara. We went for the day,
Yeah.
ate all the food, and I said, "We'll stay till s'mores, and then we're leaving."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my oldest brother was a Cub Scout or whatever, and they had to. One of the things they had to do was make a paper mache, planet Earth or something. And I remember the paper mache making a mess in the house. And I was like, everybody, no more stupid paper mache shit. Party's over, and none of us got to be Boy Scouts because of that. And that was the end of it. So we.
Well, when
probably
I was there, it was
saved.
extremely strict.
Yeah.
On the trips, you could not be alone with. The only person you could be alone with is your own child.
Oh, okay.
And if you're with any other child that wasn't yours, you had to have another adult as a witness.
Oh, so you guys were ahead of the
Yeah,
game.
by that time they were like, "We're not getting any more
Yeah.
molesting happening here."
Right.
Yeah. Well, speaking on that beautiful note, Chris, besides Cover to Cover, which is every Thursday, people are loving it.
Cover to
your
Cover
podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
What else have you got going on?
I will be. You're airing this Thursday. I will be at Helium in Portland tonight. If you're listening this Thursday, I'm here, October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Helium in Portland. So please come. I'm going to Portland. Yes. the
Are
city
you going to
that's
go
supposed
to
to
the wild city where you trade like a kidney for some beads or something? What's
I've
going
heard
on
about
there?
it. But no, I talked to another comedian who was just there, and he's like, "It's in a neighborhood that's fine." Last time I was there was with you.
Right.
We did. That's the only time I'd done it before, so it seems fine.
No sales tax.
Is that right?
Yeah. Go to Nordstrom.
I think you told me that about Minneapolis, and I don't know if that was the case.
It is the case.
Okay.
Definitely. I mean, maybe not everything, but definitely like clothes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same for accessories, but definitely you want to buy like some cute tops or something.
That's
it's going to be no
that's
sales
good to
tax.
know. Okay.
Yeah. So everyone, Portland people,
Portland people.
take a break from the riots.
And the weekend after that, I'm at a place called the Grand Comedy Club in Escondido, California, just 2 nights.
Oh,
Brand new place just opened down in Escondido.
what a great time to open a comedy club.
I know, this poor guy. He has like no money, and he opened a comedy club, and it's like the worst.
So San Diego people come.
Escondido, yeah. Grand Comedy Club. Love you. Thank you. Listen to my podcast, and thank you for having me.
ChrisFranjola.net.
Franjola.com.
Oh, sorry. Franjola.com is wrong. Franjola.com.
But, it's all on Instagram.
Love you.